Alrighty, so once I'd done the first level of windows down the bottom there, doing the second level was actually pretty easy, and I got a general gist of how I wanted to have everything set up, just sort of following from underneath. And what we've done is gone ahead and done all 4 sides. So the whole thing is done now, which is awesome. I actually haven't set up any scaffolding or any bases up to this point as yet to see just how high I actually have left to build, and it was a good test to set up as I have now, because as you can see here, I've still got to here, so, and I haven't even done any further from here just as a tester as yet either. I'm actually I've still got at least another 2 levels, so I think that's going to be tons. I probably only really want to do just finishing where I am now, because we're pretty darn high where we are at the moment, and I don't want to do too high. Alright, so just to have a look at it from far back here, bearing in mind of course that the scaffolding shouldn't be there, I think it's looking pretty damn good. As I mentioned, we're really starting to get that sort of gothic look that I was after in the beginning now. The only other thing I could possibly add in just to change it up and make it a little more sort of gothic looking would be these small square spires. I may try and fit a few of them in, probably only about 1 or 2 stories. Not sure where I'll put them in, but I'll sort of take a look at it as I go. I'll throw them in just as visual pieces. I may put 1 or 2 of them in here somewhere, perhaps even, I don't know, I haven't really worked it out yet, but as I said, we just wanted to have a look at where we're at in terms of finishing up these windows at this stage. So as you can see in the sun here, it looks pretty damn good. So I think we've got a really good look going. I'll still have to do something of those windows there on all 4 sides at some stage, but we've done a major part of the work now, so I'm really happy about that. As I mentioned earlier, I'll probably fill in up the top, so I might make it about 3 or 4 blocks in where I actually start the work. So it'll be a lot further in, probably, I'm not sure, might add a flat, like a 2-meter ceiling flat, which is 4 blocks across. Might add one of those in to space it out, and that'll give me 4 blocks across, and that'll be inwards, so I won't actually be starting building it on top of the top spire from the actual height that I'm at right now. It'll be more something along the lines of from about 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 or something like that, but right up the top. So it'll start sort of somewhere around there, but up top. So I'll have to have a look at that and how I'm actually going to set it out, and the reason I want to actually do that is so I'm not encroaching on that flame which I've got across there, and I'd like that to sort of set out as a visual aspect, and I've got 4 of those set up on sort of each of the sides, so I don't think I'll mess with that too much, and I think we'll sort of leave it. So we may end up sort of setting it out, I don't know, something like that. Turn off snapping. Something like that. I might sort of start it somewhere near there, and then we'll build a wall up from there. That sort of gist. So But I'll have to work it out. See, I may actually have to go one further in still, but I'll work it out. So what I'll do now is I'll go away and sort of make a bit of a decision on what I'm going to do and how I'm going to set that out. I'll probably just put some more sort of small arches and a window in, and as I mentioned previously, I'll probably only do that top section around about 2 stories, and it'll have its own little towers as well, and I think that will then top us off, and then we can finally get downstairs and start actually working on the space down there where all of the production is, and the main living space down there, which has been an absolute schmozzle since I actually moved. Alright, well, I'll get into that and we'll see you in a minute. So while we're taking a look at the beginning and the start off point for what I'm going to do to work out the very top of the spire here, it's probably a good time to actually throw in a bit of a tip, and that is, as you'll see just next to me here, I've got blocks that are floating in the air. Because you are building within your own building space, you can throw blocks anywhere, and if you've got some blocks that are right next to your scaffolding here, I can just walk on and off them without having to worry about falling off my scaffolding, and it just makes things a hell of a lot easier. You don't even actually need to use scaffolding either. You can actually just use blocks if you want. And another good little tip as well is you can actually double jump, and as I've done just there, put a block underneath you as you're double jumping. So there's quite a few little things like that that actually come in handy during the game, so I just thought I'd take a moment to point that out while we are doing the final little tiles and sections up here. What I was thinking for up here was possibly having it so that I've got a little bit of a walk around, so I may actually make it a little bit further in than I was initially intending, and I may actually make a door up here as well. I'm yet to decide on that. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit more, so what I'll do is I'll get into that now and I'll get back to you in a minute. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for us for this episode. It's been a very, very big one. There's a lot more to do. Alright, well, once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Glitch Gaming.